What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I've got my in the bag video, and I know what you guys are thinking. This is another one of those amateur players in the bag, and it's gonna take 20 minutes and they're gonna explain every disc. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Let's start out with my putting putters. Right now I'm putting with this Mania D-Line P2s, the reinvented ones. This one's bar stand, and they both fly about the same. Really like them. They're glidey and they like to go in the basket, so D-Line P2s. Next, moving on to my throwing putters. Starting with my straightest, I carry a really beat up gray D-Line P2. This one I can pop on a little hyzer, flip it to flat, maybe get a little right play to it. Good disc to have. Next up, I carry two zones, Discraft zones. First, I have this ESP zone with a leopard print stamp, a really ugly disc. This one's really straight for me. It's got a little bit of extra glide. Really good for forehand, touch-up shots, and other things like that. And then a nice complement to that is this 2022 Ledgestone Z Glow Zone. This thing is very overstable, and it's a great complement to that. If it's a little bit windy out, I'll pull this out. If I want something that's just a little bit more left play to it, then this is the disc to use. So onto my mid-ranges. Starting up with my most understable, I carry a Discraft Z Meteor. This thing is very understable, really important disc to have, and I use this a lot. So next up, a Lucid EMAC Truth. This one's signed by Nico LaCastro. This one is a little bit more stable than that Meteor. Next up, I've got two ESP buzzes. This is, I call it my ugly buzz. It's from a tournament stamp. It's got heart foil on a dragon, which doesn't seem to work very well, but this is a really great buzz. It goes really straight. A great complement to that is this double stamp Paul Macbeth 5-time ESP buzz. This has got a little bit of dome to it, and it's a little bit more stable, so it'll go a little bit more left than that other buzz. So those are my mid-ranges. Next up, my fairway drivers. I carry currently 6 fairway drivers. Start out with the most understable. I carry a Innova PD, or the Phantom Sword. It's technically not a fairway driver, but I use it like one. So this one is really understable, so I kind of pull this out for rollers or really big like turnover shots. Next up, I carry a Discmania Neo Instinct. This is very glidey, and I can get it on a little bit of hyzer, flip up to flat, and go straight with a little bit of fade, so this is a good disc to have. Next up, I carry a Discraft ESP Undertaker. This is a replacement for one I just lost. My old one was a little bit more overstable than this one, but great disc to have, just goes straight with some consistent fade, so like my Undertaker. Next is another distance driver that I use more like a fairway. This is a ESP Onyx. Really predictable, that's all I can say, is it's super predictable. Wind doesn't seem to affect it too much. Really like this disc. Next up, I have a Champion 12-time Ken Climo Firebird, Champion Firebird. This is my forehand disc. It's very overstable, very beefy. Pull this out a lot on the course. Next up, I carry a Discraft Z Captain's Raptor. This is my utility fairway driver, grenades, over the top, things like that. Next up, my distance drivers. I carry too many distance drivers. Starting out, I've got my Wraiths. My most understable is this Ken Climo 12-time pre-flight number Wraith. And no, that's not Ken Climo's signature. That was faked by somebody. I don't know who would ever think to do something like that, but this is super understable. I really only use this for rollers, but I can get some big distance with rollers on this. Next up, I carry a Champion Wraith. This kind of has a little bit of a luster look to it. This is pretty stable. I can get a lot of distance out of this, and I've really been liking it. Next up is a bit more overstable. Is this Garrett Gurthie, the 2021 Halo Wraith. This is kind of my bomber disc. Really workable, really predictable, really controllable, so really been liking the Halo Wraith. Next up are my Discraft Forces. I carry this Discraft ESP Force. It was given to me by my friend Micah Groth. This is another one of my bomber discs. I can throw this really far, and I've really been liking it. Next up is a bit more overstable, is this Z Force. I can throw this on forehands. It's a little bit flatter, and it can handle much more wind, so this is an important complement to that. Next up, I carry a DGA Proline Torrent. This is kind of my forehand disc. I've got a weak forehand, so this is a little bit flippy to kind of help me get a little bit more extra distance. Next up are my Destroyers. I carry 3 Destroyers. First up is this Paul Macbeth 4-time Destroyer. Super flat. This is another one of my bombers. It's pretty flippy, but I can put it on a little hyzer, flip it to flat, start fading right, and it'll come back. Next up is this Ricky 2-time Destroyer. This is kind of my go-to forehand disc. Next up, I carry a 2021 Calvin Heimberg Halo Destroyer. This thing is pretty new. I don't throw this too much, but if it's really windy and I want something that I know is not really going to go right, I'll pull this out. It's got that familiar feel of a Destroyer, a little bit more domey, but this is really important to have. Lastly, I carry a kind of utility slash trick shot disc. This is a Blizzard Champion Crate. This is the flippiest disc I've ever thrown in my life. I can throw this and it'll do barrel rolls and things like that. The main reason I carry this disc is to hand to my friends who've never played before. I'll hand this disc to them, and because of its understability, they can kind of get a lot more distance out of it, so they can have fun with it. So that's the reason I carry this, but I also will pull it out for some trick shots just for fun. And to carry that load of discs, I carry a Grip Equipment AX5. I've really been liking this bag. It's great quality, great durability. Really well built, and I really recommend this bag to anybody out there. So those are all the discs I'm carrying this 2022 season. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like the video. Please subscribe, help grow the channel. I've got some really exciting plans coming up that you guys do not want to miss, so click the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on those. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.